Hello and welcome back to the Non-League Podcast with myself, Lee Simons. We're here at Mumford Road, home of Thetford Town, and joining me today is Elliot Smith. Thank you very much for joining us today. How are you, Elliot? You
I'm really well, thank you. Yeah, big game today, so...
Yeah, big game today.
To go.
Yeah, I bet you are, especially against Walsh and the Willows, who are the derby game, but we'll get onto that shortly. But I just want to talk to you beforehand with background. How did you actually get started into football, where it all started for you?
I think it's just always been football for me from school, a young age. I used to play, before you were allowed to play football, I can't remember what the age is, but I was a bit bigger, so I got to play in the year above, like before I was meant to, with one of my friends, Ross. And so I was doing that for Thetford Town at a really young age. And then, just kept going on from there and there.
So basically you've just gone from, say, year dot, so under 6, 7 maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
And then all the way up to the first team where we're here today.
Well, I had a breakout because a lot of my friends went over to Thetford Independence when that was a thing. We had quite a lot of success with that team and a lot of good characters there. So I was always jumped to and from. It's been quite nice.
Good. So before the COVID pandemic hit, we weren't doing too well, were we? But how was that playing for your hometown in that period? And then, of course, the COVID hit, and then we'll get on to the after bit.
I think it was frustrating for everyone because I think football is everyone's outlet. Like I always say, without me having to organise anything with any of my friends, I come here at least twice a week and you have that kind of banter and camaraderie with everyone. So it's difficult when you lose that. In football sense, it was a bit of a godsend because we did have a bit of a torrid time towards the start of the season, and it was just a mad bit of luck in that sense, which is a weird thing to say, I suppose, but it worked in our favour, footballing wise. Yeah,
because we were bottom of the table. I think we had only one win, I think it was, and then all of a sudden it would just stop, didn't we? And then, of course, COVID, and thinking, what can we do now, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a strange time, and then I would have been going away with work throughout that season anyway, which I still did. So I was away for 4 months, so I was quite lucky. I dodged a lot of the lockdown period.
You did?
Being away, when getting messages from my missus saying they're fighting over pasta and toilet rolls and stuff like that, and I was sat in the middle of the desert, nice and warm, but not really affected too much by it.
So with this season coming into it, did you have any aims or any expectations for you going, because we've got now Matt Morton as manager, and of course we've got John Taylor now as assistant manager. How did you feel as the group progressing through the pre-season?
I think I'm always hopeful at the start of the season. I think everyone is. They're a bit apprehensive but hopeful, and then we've had some really big additions. With Dan coming in on loan at the end of last season, we saw what he was capable with. So when we secured him to come back in, that's so exciting. And then Kingy coming in, and just loads of new, like Tom stepping up and coming across, and other lads, just everything just seems to have fallen into place lovely. And we were all very hopeful, but everyone's doing the same thing, everyone's strengthening, so you never really know until the season starts.
Exactly. So because you've got 5 goals this season with 27 appearances, what has been your highlight so far of the season?
I don't think I have an individual one. I've played with Thetford for so long now, and we've had so many difficult times that this season is a complete anomaly to me, really. I'm just loving, it's so strange turning up to most games and being positive towards every game, and you're expecting to win in a way because you're just so confident with the boys around you, and especially our forward line at the moment is, you always feel like we're going to score goals, and I don't think there's many games where we haven't scored. Maybe Sheringham, probably a couple others, but we always feel like we're in a game because we can just score goals.
Yeah, with that, with Sheringham, I think we lost 1-0. We lost to Mildenhall and Hadley, which have only been away games. They've still got to come here to play at Mumford Road, so that's going to be a tight one. We've got, of course, Walsham today, Sheringham on Tuesday, and then we've got Whitton United the following Saturday, and of course we've got the Dereham Town quarter-final as well in the Norfolk Cup. So how do you feel those 4 games are going to
go? Same. I'm confident that we'll get almost maximum points out, just because the way things are going, and we are kind of rolling with the punches. Even when we're not playing that well, we're still putting teams away, grinding out results, and that's what we can't play fantastic every single game. There's so many games to play, and everyone's got jobs and niggles they pick up from going to the gym or doing bits and pieces, and it's just keep rolling, keep winning, keep picking up points, and just trying to not drop as many points as the teams around us, really.
Yeah, we're going out with Adam Laker, who come in as a winger. He's filled in from Bondi from right back. How do you feel he's done so far this season?
Well, this season, even in pre-season, he's turned up a different player. Last year, when he come over from Mildenhall, he was raw, and you could tell that he had that kind of tenacity about him, and he was fast, direct. But there was just something he lacked. The end product wasn't quite there. This, that, and the other. And then this season it's like a different player. He's turned up. Everything's done with quality with him. He's got this different level of confidence with him this year, and he's bringing with it performances, dropping him into that fullback area. I don't think anyone saw that coming, but wow, has he excelled in it. And to keep Bondi out of the team for as long as he has, and other players, like experienced players, and I honestly feel like now he could have a run of 2-3 bad games and he'd still be on the team sheet, because he's earned that through so many consistent performances. Honestly, I think I can hold my hands up and say that I did not expect this, but he's been unbelievably consistent.
That's good. So with the performances of the whole team, of course, sitting on top of the table, normally a couple of years ago we were like languishing at the bottom. Do you think now with like the teams like Ipswich Wanderers and Woodbridge and Mildenhall now second, third and fourth, do you feel that we've progressed over the last few seasons? I know we haven't got COVID, but do you think we've progressed quite well?
We have progressed. As a team, we've progressed so well. It's a massive credit to both John and Morts. They seem to have got everything right. It was difficult at periods because I'm losing friends that I've played with for so long that you kind of see it's like the spine of the team, the heartbeat of the team. When you see them go, you think, oh, we might really struggle. But then they're bringing in someone different that you don't know, and everyone just seems to have really fit into place. And the dressing room is amazing. Like everyone gets on so well. It's just such a big bunch of idiots, and I think that plays such a big part in it. When we all get in, like the massive. They've called it car club, where they travel in from Norwich and their little team comes in, but again everyone merges. There's no divide in this dressing room. It's so nice to be around. Like I said, you come here and you're excited to see everyone, and I think that makes such a difference. Yeah,
exactly. With this season, we haven't actually lost in the league at home, which is incredible achievement for you and for your teammates, of course, Morts and John there. How do you feel like going into each home game being undefeated?
I think it's nice when you've got that reassurance of a home fixture really being a home fixture. Everything kind of works in a cycle where, because we keep winning, we keep getting better crowds, and then it kind of fires you up. And when you're not starting right or something like that, they can help you turn it around. It sounds really corny, but for players like us, you might have been at work on a Tuesday and then you've got to come to a Tuesday night and you're feeling a bit lethargic. But when you've got people like, especially a lot of the youngsters that are coming up, and the noise they're like giving us and the energy they give you, it's really good. So I do feel like we have a real home advantage at the moment. Plus, the start of the season, the pitch was incredible. The best it's ever looked by a long way. So that plays a massive part as well. Obviously, getting towards the wetter months and stuff like that now is hard, but it's as good as it can be for what they're doing, and they're trying so hard to keep it as good as it can, which makes a massive difference when you've got so many technical players in our team.
Exactly, especially with Cameron King, even of course you've got Jordan Lake as well, yourself. Yeah, but that's what you want to do, isn't it? You want to get better as the season goes on, don't you?
Yeah, and the challenge does change through the year because of pitches and teams and injuries and stuff like that. So it does change from the start of the season. And then players like myself, when the pitches are boggy, probably come into play more now than we did at the start of the season. That's where you want the Dan, Cams and all them sort of on the ball, moving it because it's so slick. And if anything, I just step out of the way and just let them play. But yeah, now when it's getting a bit scrappier, it's more longer balls, because you don't want to be playing too much out from the back when it's bouncing around at your shins too much.
Yeah. So we've got a game today, of course. This is why we're here. Of course, Derby Day against Walsham and the Willows. How do you see that going today?
Well, I'm hopeful we'll get a win.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident. But it's not going to be easy. There's no easy games in this, well, in any league really, I suppose, but definitely this league. They're really quite a young team, so they're high energy. They're not going. There's a free hit for them at the end of the day. They're expecting nothing from it. We've got a couple of players on loan for them at the moment. Luckily, they're not playing against us. So I feel like that'd be a bit of a extra bit of motivation for them.
Yeah.
But luckily, they're not playing, so that could help us out a bit.
Exactly. So we've also got Thetford Town in the quarterfinals of the Norfolk Cup coming up on the 7th of March. How do you see that going?
I think that game means more to us than maybe just the cup competition itself. Well, certainly for me, because where we are at this new position where we're pushing for the top, and we are in a position now where it's up to us if we want to get promoted or not. But that's a real test of what we're going to be doing next season. Are we good enough to really, and a bit of reassurance for ourselves, hopefully we put on a really good performance, prove to both ourselves and the people around us that we could compete at that level if we are consistent enough at the end of the season and fight off what's around us. So I do think, although it would be really nice to progress and keep stepping forward towards going to Carrow Road again, I think it means a lot more than just the cup competition itself.
Yeah, especially with the step forward, because we could get promoted this season, 4 points ahead of Ipswich Wanderers with a game in hand at the moment. How do you feel that's going to go? If we get promotion, how do you feel as a team, as a club? How do you think we'll perform at step 4?
Well, I think there's a lot of factors that come into play. Making sure we tie everyone down. I'd be surprised if we had too many people leave, because it is such a tight-knit dressing room. I think everyone wants a real crack at achieving as much as we can with this group of players. We've obviously a few additions to strengthen and stuff like that, but we're having approaches coming for a lot of the players almost weekly, and everyone, according to the group chat, everyone's shutting it down straight away, not even entertaining it, because they want to achieve with this group of players, this team.
Yeah.
And so I think if we can stick together, we will have a real crack at it, and I'd like to be part of it, although it's a bit bittersweet for me because I will miss the first 4 months of next season anyway. Yeah. So if we part of getting us promoted and then miss that, could hurt a bit.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask you about your future plans for next season. Have you decided what you're going to do?
Well, it's who will have me is more the issue. But yeah, like I said, I'm away for the first 4 months of the season because of work. But it's whether they want me back, where we're at, and that is as good as I can give you right now, because I'm not going to force the gaffer into anything.
Exactly. So I did ask Bonnie this last time when we did an interview. I was just going to ask you, what was your best 11 for playing for Thetford Town, and who is your favourite teammate?
We've had some really good individual players over the years since I played with Thetford. Some really strong individuals from like Volta going forwards. In that period we were doing so badly, we were up there with the top goal scorers. And then we've had Luke Bailey, who's a very good centre half. We've had so many good individuals, but as an 11, this 11, well, clearly by the results and everything shown, is easily the best 11. I'd say. Who's
your favourite teammate? You can say Bondi if you want to.
No, absolutely not. I really don't know. I think maybe Tom, the goalkeeper's coming this year.
Yeah.
Just because he's really academic, but he's so dopey that I just love being around it. He's incredible. He tickles me every time I see him.
Brilliant. I like that. Tom, you'll be next on the interview. If you had a chance for your dream move, where would it be? It could be anywhere in the world. Where would you have your dream move? In football, of course.
I think you have to go Real Madrid, don't you? I think that's what you... Yeah.
Ever been to the ground?
No, I've been to the Nou Camp, but I haven't been to the Bernabeu, so... But I just think as you see Champions League nights there and stuff like that, be incredible. But it's nice enough just holding down a space here, so that'll do.
So the final couple of questions, I'll ask Bondi this. Who is your worst dressed player in the group, and who is the best?
I think you're going to have to retire this question because it is everyone that should give you the same answer, otherwise they're gone. It is the gaffer all day long. He turns up in some horrendous stuff. It is fantastic, makes everyone crack, but it is awful. So yeah.
The best?
Oh, I don't know. I've seen most people in tracksuits most of the time. I'll give that to Fuller because I know he likes his training collection and stuff like that.
Fair enough. Who is the best gambler and the worst gambler? Who would you go to, say, horse racing? Who would you actually go to for a bet?
Absolutely no one in this dressing room. I don't think there's a good gambler amongst this team. I know there's a good half of the team, they'll have a bet every weekend. I don't hear many winners, but I hear quite a lot of losers.
So who do you think is the funniest out of the group?
Like I said, I quite enjoy listening to Tom talk just because he's just a moron, quite frankly. It's lovely to be around. I think Kuzak with his fines has everyone rattled, and that tickles me seeing people lose their heads over getting £2 left, right and centre.
Excellent. And who is the least funniest?
Whew, that's savage, that. I really don't know. I couldn't give that to anyone. Everyone contributes to a fairly idiotic dressing room.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. It has been a pleasure to talk to you today. Wish you all the best for today's game against Walsham and, of course, for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Nice. Thanks.